I didn't become a bass player because I wanted to. I became one because someone had to hold it down. I'd like to talk about how becoming a bass player has unexpectedly shaped and taught me a lot about leadership, both as a band leader and as a business owner. And I'd like to explore this idea of leading from the back and being more of a supportive role instead of chasing the spotlight. So when I started my band, I had a choice. I could either be a keyboard player in my band or a bass player. I was pretty proficient in both of them at a basic level. Piano, maybe more. And I ended up going with bass. I think it was just simpler at the time. I didn't have to carry a big keyboard and then a keyboard amp and it's a keyboard stand. And I always wanted to be a part of the rhythm section in a way that contributed to the groove. Okay, not that keyboards players don't, but a bass player is really holding it down. It's holding it together, both rhythmically and harmonically. The bass player comes first. And so I chose to go with the bass, and it's been such a great experience. I'm so happy that I did. Playing the bass wasn't so much about expression, it was about function. It's about fulfilling the need. What did my band need at that time, and how could I be the best band leader and with what instrument? And let's talk about that. There's a lot of strength in simplicity. Simple bass lines, whole notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and just feeling the groove, locking in with the drummer. All that stuff goes a long way. For me, as somebody that started playing bass at age 25, guys, this was the last instrument that I learned to play. Grew up playing piano, drums, vibraphone, and this was my last instrument. So I didn't have all this technique. I wasn't going, I'm not playing up here. I'm not doing runs, riffs. I'm holding it down. My life is, for the last 15 years, has been right here in this position. Open strings and open position. And I've been able to do everything playing right here in those low notes. And that's the kind of thing that mirrors leadership. Being really simple is sometimes what the band needs, what the business needs. They just want somebody to hold it down. They want somebody who knows the songs to come in on all the downbeats with the right note, with the root of the chord, and just be there supporting everybody. And that's exactly what I did. And nobody complained, nobody said anything because it just felt solid and it created this groundwork for everybody to shine on top of it. And that's one of the parallels in business, is that people don't need you to be impressive or flashy. They need you to be consistent and reliable. And I have to say, sometimes complexity in playing is really insecurity disguised as talent. And I'd like to really bring forward the simplicity of a bass player and their role in a band and as a leader. Our job is to hold it down, to be there for everybody every single time without a miss. And nobody's gonna care if you're going up and down the neck. It is fun, it is cool, and I totally get it when a bass player rips up and down the neck and turns everybody's heads. I love it, I love to watch it. It's not my style, simply because I don't have that kind of technique right now. Never have. But the strength of a bass player is all about holding it down and being reliable. Knowing the entire song, not just the bass part. And when the bass player is solid, everybody else feels like they can take risks. And so the leadership of a bass player comes from leading in the back. At least in my case, when a bass player is doing the right job, they're usually going unnoticed. They're blending in. They are just being supportive. That's how you know they've got a good bass player. The spotlight belongs to the singers, the soloists, the guitar players, but none of that is possible without a solid foundation. And real leadership is about service. It's about being humble. So I run my band, Mod Society, the same way that I play bass. I take care of all of the foundation, the fundamental stuff, so that everybody else can shine. So all the logistical things, timelines, the prepping of the set lists, all the nitty-gritty things, talking to the clients, handling money, that's all my job, so that everybody can relax, not think about that, know that it's all gonna come in, it's all gonna be there, and it's always gonna happen the same way each time. And this gives everybody the room to fully express themselves and give 100% of their energy to being an artist, the performer that they truly are. I'm not trying to be in the spotlight. I'm trying to make sure that the foundation is there for everybody to shine. My job isn't to be the star. My job is to make sure that the stars feel safe enough to shine. So leadership isn't about being loud. It's not about cutting through. It's about stability. It's about being the one that people don't have to worry about. I'd like to encourage the following reflection. Where can you lead from the foundation instead of the spotlight? I'd like to know what role you are playing in your band, your business, or in your life. Drop it down in the comments and subscribe for more videos like this. Guys, I'm Claudio, the bass player, band leader, and owner of Mod Society. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.